What is going on? It is Sunday morning, and you are listening to the biggest show in the world, the hashtag SBTV Nation. I am sitting here. I got both my dogs on the line today. First of all, got my man, welcome back, Mr. Dream. What's up?
What's going on, Playboy? I love it. I love it. I love it. As I am the only person that lost yesterday.
Yeah, right.
I wouldn't say that.
No. Nobody else lost. Just me.
Yeah, right.
It was just me. Everybody else won millions yesterday. Y'all all in Beverly Hills right now, and I'm still in the hood. Yeah. I feel so bad. I'm the only one that lost yesterday.
Unbelievable day, man. All kinds of upsets, and I got my boy, the Evil Genius, on the line as well. What's up?
Oh, what's up, kid? Hey, I just got to say, I love the nation. I love the nation. Look, we had our first losing day in 10 days. And I know some of you cats out there want to find a reason to jump all over me. Tell me I don't know what I'm talking about and all that. That's fine. That's fine. That's all good. I'll just let my people handle it.
Yeah, that's it, baby.
I'll let my people handle it.
That's it. So, had a pretty eventful day yesterday, man. Couldn't get the job done as far as the NCAA football, but you know, as far as an eventful day is concerned, I finally got all the birthday stuff and all the anniversary stuff out of the way for my bride. I'm finally in the clear. And I just want to apologize for dragging you into that yesterday.
Oh, my God, Hat. Let me tell y'all about what your boy did to me. All this is going on amidst losing plays on top of it. First, my man got me up in the brewery yesterday.
Yes.
They got no TVs in the brewery at 2 o'clock. And I'm like, dude, seriously? You know what I'm saying? Very nice place, very nice event. And happy birthday to his bride. However, I did have to pull him over to the side and be like, yo, dude, for real? Are you kidding me? Had me up in the brewery yesterday. No TVs in the brewery. And I was just like, oh, my God.
you were the only black guy in the place, too.
You know what? Only black guy, but I love it, white, because white folks always need to find a better way to get drunk. Like, getting drunk in your backyard wasn't cool no more. So it was like, we're going to go to the brewery and get drunk. But we could bring, chips and dip and hors d'oeuvres and stuff. I always laugh because it's like the back of the brewery is kind of like my patio. And like, I kind of live in the suburbs. And, like, it's normal for everybody to have these kind of ostentatious patio sets or whatever, decks and all that. And I'm like, everybody here got mad decks and nice patios and all that, yet they come to the brewery to drink and not be on. I'm like, you would think that it would be all hood out here at the brewery because there ain't no patios in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no nice decks. They should all be here wilding. But no, it was the other way around. It was a little bit funny too. And then a couple of, like I said before, I love seeing when white folks act like black folks. So once you start getting too much to drink, hello.
I know there was some people wilding in there, man. It was crazy.
There was one trailer park team that showed up. Though they were the loosest. I loved them. I tried to stay as close to them as possible because they kept me in stitches. The dude had like a rope gold chain. Like, remember the old rope chains that Slick Rick used to wear back in the day, like Chuck jewelry?
Yes.
Oh man, I had one of those on. You know what I'm saying? With some old Jordans, like the original Jordans.
Oh, man.
Dude's get up was insane. I loved it, and then he was acting all a ghetto up in there. I was like, oh my God, I love this guy right here. And everybody in there was kind of like slightly bougie. So every time they would do something off the hook, like the whole place would like shut down and just look in their direction, except for me, who was smiling and like clapping for them. Because I'm like, go ahead, do some more stupid stuff, please.
Oh, a lot of fun yesterday, man. A lot of fun.
It was hilarious. So then we go from 2 o'clock there, right? See, no games. Probably lost, all my that time slot of games. So Hatter takes me over to another bar, and his sister-in-law now has gotten like just below drunk, but like, you know how when people drink they go through different phases. So now she has become like the psychologist stage. She's in the psychologist stage as I talk about it, and she wants to talk. She got me on the side, and now they were in there asking like because, you know, I don't really kind of act like I act on the air. I act kind of normal when I'm out because I'm out and normal. So they're like, where's the dream? Where's the dream? Once everybody gets drunk, it's always, where's the dream? I'm like, well, the dream's here losing plays right now, so I'm not really all that cool. You know what I'm saying? Had I been winning, I would have been the life of the party. But like everybody else, I'm a sore loser. So then she started talking to me. She got wrapped up in a conversation, though. It was this. I'm over here looking at her. I'm texting him, yo, could you come over here and rescue me for this? He's sitting in the corner messing with his phone because he's losing. I'm like, dude, seriously? She's just talking my ear off.
Heckling you to death, man. I was laughing. I was better you than me, player.
Then the DJ came in and it was another like kind of white people spot. And they opened up with like the white people anthem. I call it Sweet Caroline. That's like the anthem.
Oh, yeah.
What's up, man?
Everybody's in the back. So good. I'm like, this is the anthem right here. I wanted to open the show with Sweet Caroline. Y'all know you do some Sweet Caroline.
Oh. I do not. That I will say that is my least favorite song of all time.
Oh.
And everybody from Boston, y'all can go to hell.
Yo, they played that track. The whole bar went on lock when they played that. The bartenders were holding up mugs. Everybody was moving back and forth.
Oh, I know.
Like,
I know. How many thousand times does that song get played like a year, like in each bar? You know what I mean?
Sweet Caroline, that's the anthem. I loved it. And then right after that, what was let's get it started. He put on Let's Get It Started.
Yeah.
After that, Cash started just smiling. I'm in the corner just cracking up. I told her, yo, we got mad material for the show tomorrow.
Definitely, man. And, the only bright spots were yesterday, Dan, were, the over in the Kansas City and Detroit game, and Yale decided to win the game at the end and beat Colgate. So if anybody took Yale in a money line parlay, you're welcome. But, the rest of the stuff that came out of our mouths was not so good. So,
obviously we hit on the UConn play where they actually almost beat Missouri.
Yeah, right.
Plus, that defense is no joke. We got La Tech, and obviously Utah, which, hey guys, we almost pushed. And for those of you that lost on that game instead of push, I feel bad for you. I don't know if y'all saw it, but Utah throwing for a touchdown with like 7 seconds left when all they had to do was kneel the ball to win.
Yeah, that's
pretty crazy. I don't know if there's something, rivalry-wise up with them, just rubbing it in their face. But hey, finally made me some money last night.
Hey, gentlemen, if you feel bad about your loss, okay, here's the deal. As bad as you feel about your loss, put yourself in the position of the field goal kicker for the University of Texas.
Oh, my God, I know.
Did you find that dude this morning? Someone better go check on him.
In case you're not knowing what the dream is referring to, so they come and they score a touchdown at the end to tie the game 45-45, and the guy missed the extra point, and they lost the game. Oh, that is brutal, man. Brutal.
I mean,
brutal.
Hey, he's lucky it ain't the NFL because I'm saying those college kids will be nice to him.
Nah, but they should. I mean, come on, dude. Listen.
You don't miss an extra point. It's not. The NFL extra point I get right now, right? It's still a 33-yard field goal. Those get missed every now and again. The college kick is still it. To be honest, though, and call me crazy, Texas was on such a roll there. I would have gone for 2.
Oh, stop.
Here's why.
No.
The way that offense was working, you was putting your whole career on going for 2 right there, Dan.
Yeah. Charlie Strong was not trying to go for 2 right there. He's already on the hot seat. If he would have lost that game going for 2, forget it, son.
Well, but here's the thing. Here's what you do. You line up to go for 2. You line up to go for it. And you try and draw them off sides. And at the worst, if they don't jump, take the delay a game and then kick it.
Because right now, speaking of that, by the way, the UConn Huskies decided to try some antics with the extra point at the end of their game right now. And when they get back into Connecticut, a whole lot of cats want to talk to their head coach about why he didn't kick the field goal and tied the game, but faked it and got intercepted and lost the game.
Yes. Yeah, good point.
Yeah,
good point.
No, I mean, very fair, but I think you're in 2 different situations.
No, I hear you.
So for
sure.
That hasn't done anything in 40 minutes of that game.
Got you.
And, Texas is just on fire. Look, it's an obvious Monday morning quarterback type situation. But you do feel a little bad for that kicker, but damn, dude, I don't know.
Got you guys. Well, you know what?
Hey, listen, I got to say, some of the guys in the nation, and I don't know who because I didn't talk to a whole lot of people, but I know some of the guys out there had to have an incredible day yesterday because we got to, and you know what? I'm going to ask the next time when we could get, Mr. Feist on, I would like to ask him because it's been my experience now with rapping with a lot of guys in the nation and talking with a lot of you guys. A lot of you guys really like underdogs. I hear that the public generally likes favorites, but I'm starting to feel like personally, I feel like it may not be that drastic of a separation as people are making it because everybody I talk to in here and the people on Twitter and guys who have come on the shows in the past, it seems like everybody likes dogs.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
and a
lot of the dogs won outright yesterday.
Oh, dude, for the people that love dogs, right now, I know y'all yacht hunting.
Yeah, right.
You're yacht hunting. Because even the bootiest money line parlay with 3 dogs, cash. I mean, if you said, all right, I'm going to just, for giggles, I'm going to take, Ole Miss, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to take Stanford, and I'm going to take, I don't know what one other crazy dog that won yesterday.
Who beat Arkansas? Whoever beat Arkansas.
Was it Texas Tech? Tech. You just cash, and that might have been something that you just played off of just trying to be funny. But man, what a crazy day yesterday in college football. Absolutely insane. A lot of the scores were just bizarre. I don't know.
Bonkers.
Ohio State didn't have a great game.
Oh, that's a sore subject for me, man. But dude, almost beating the Northern Illini by 7 points. What a brutal performance that is. I'm sure Urban Meyer must be going crazy on it.
Well, I never watch post-game pressers really in college. And I actually watched Urban Meyer's. Yep. And, oh my God. They're like asking, who's your quarterback? I have no idea. They all play terrible. I'm like, he just ripping it. Look, lock Ohio State for their next game, though.
Yeah, I think I agree with you on that. So
I don't know about that because we kind of did that this game. I thought they were going to show for their last game. They may have some work to. I had said this before about Ohio State. I said that. Who they have next? In fact, let's see who they have next.
I'm looking it up right now. I think Stanford on Friday night at home.
Yeah, it's competitive. Yeah, I knew it.
Sorry, that's Oregon State. Sorry. Why is that?
I think they got a competitive game next week. I'm looking at now as well.
All right, my man picked
Western Michigan.
Central Michigan?
Western Michigan. Okay.
Oh, my God, dude. They're just throwing nobodies at them.
Yeah, probably a 50-point. Yeah, by the way, my favorite sign from the Ole Miss side was, what was it? It was the Alabama Ole Miss game. You see that, guys? The sign was like, the only thing easier than Ole Miss girls is Ohio State's schedule.
Oh.
Yeah, we love you, Ole Miss.
That's hilarious. All right, guys, let's jump right into the NFL because a lot of people want to hear what we got to say about the NFL. Why?
You heard what we had to say yesterday? It was awful.
Yeah, right. Well, hey, you know what? You can't keep us down for that.
I almost don't want to say nothing about the NFL today.
Well, I got to get back to
all I'll say is this. It can't get no worse than yesterday.
Yeah, right. Well,
I don't think.
Evil genius, man. I got to give it to you for picking Notre Dame over Georgia Tech, man. I thought Georgia Tech was going to win that game. So big ups to you on that. I can't believe that we missed the fact that, about that they're used to the triple option.
Well, that's the reason I took them. That's the reason I took them. They play Navy every year. Navy invented that system. And, like I said, I thought that game was going to be won defensively. Look, Notre Dame still has a shot at this thing. That quarterback is not that bad. And if that defense keeps playing up to what it's doing, that's a good team. It's still a good team.
Dude, I wish I had been on this show yesterday. And this is a slight on my end. Don't ask me what happened with this, but I actually forgot that Notre Dame played so much against the triple. I know this sounds crazy, and I gotta apologize about that, but I actually forgot that Notre Dame played so much triple option offenses. I was like, after Hat mentioned it yesterday to me, and I'm like, oh shoot, I forgot all about that. What the hell's wrong with me? He's absolutely right. Not saying that I still wouldn't have liked Georgia Tech, because I would have, but I played light. I didn't play heavy yesterday anyway, and I'm not playing that heavy today either. But I would have just maybe toned it down like a little bit more, maybe. If I that's a pretty great point, and I forgot all about it. I forgot that
was the only reason I was on Notre Dame. Notre Dame made us all a bunch of money last year, and I was the first one that said a team like this is the type of team that has to rebound. You got to have a solid coach to rebound from having a guy like Zaire injured, and the quarterback did just enough.
Sure.
Just enough to get it done.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Big ups to my man Sin City Maverick out there as well. He had a pretty good day yesterday, so big ups to him on that.
Someone did, man.
Yeah, man. Cool deal. All right,
But I went 6-2 in the NFL last week, and I'm looking to do that again.
Oh, against the spread, man. That's pretty impressive, Dan. That's 75%. So let's see what we got today. We're going to start off with a nasty game at 1 o'clock. We got the Houston Texans coming into the Carolina Panthers, and Carolina -3 with an under-over of 40. Dream, are you getting involved with Killer Cam?
I am not getting involved with Killer Cam, and I actually don't like Killer Cam. I do like the Texans today in this particular matchup. Bright spot for the Texans. I know they got beat last week, but their defense finally woke up in the second half. A lot of teams kind of didn't have a great opening, first half, and then woke up in the second half. Their defense woke up in the second half and was able to hold Kansas City to no points in the second half, which was pretty impressive. Crushing had an incredible game for the middle linebacker spot. The outside linebacker spot. And led the team with tackles. We also got, I think that, Vince Wilfork will make a little bit of a better impact in this particular matchup along with J.J. Watt, as far as they're not going to allow the Panthers to run the ball. The question with the Texans obviously is going to be on the offensive side. They benched Hoyer last week at the end of the game and went with Mallett. Mallett's got the start this week. I'm sorry?
I love Mallett here.
Yeah, Mallett's got the start this week, and I'm expecting him to show up. The Panthers, offensively, do not scare you at all. They have a defensive guy who's under concussion protocol, one of their linebackers, and the name is, I don't have it.
Luke Kuechly.
I'm sorry, Luke Kuechly. Thank you, Dan.
All-star.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be able to suit up today.
No, he's not. He was ruled out yesterday.
Okay, cool.
Which is why I'm actually on this game.
Okay.
And I'm on the Texans.
Okay. Yep.
I think DeAndre Hopkins has a game today. You saw how when Mallett came into the game last week, targeted him. I mean, they have a good connection going on. The dude is an absolute stud wide receiver. And you still have some guys that can get to you. Alfred Blue will have a game today, I think.
Well, that's the thing. They got it, and I was going to say that, not to cut you off, but they have to make a decision which running back they're going to use. You know what I'm saying?
I know. I agree, but I think either way they go, I think it'll be more Blue today.
Okay.
I think he's going to have a good game, because if you get through the front set, look, Kuechly is a huge loss for that Panthers defense. He's the play caller. He's the brains of the operation. He's a big, strong, fast, all.
Got it.
What happened?
I don't know. He cut off a little bit yesterday too.
But, okay.
Well, hey, it is what it is. He'll get right back on, man. So,
okay.
So you're looking at my man VK is talking about Houston as well in this.
Yeah, I like Houston. Obviously, guys, this is going to be should be probably a nasty game. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be any blowout. I don't think there's any clear-cut winner right out of the gate. You're looking at. I think you're looking at something, it's going to be kind of tight for the most part, and then maybe you see, Houston pull ahead. Mallett is not going to go insane. There's a reason why Hoyer got the start. So, I mean, there's some issues with Mallett, as far as, some of his decision making. But I do believe that the Texans will get this game and get a win here.
Dan, you're back? You're back, right?
I am back. I'm like I said, I love this game. I think the Texans definitely found a way to get it done. Yeah, I think it's going to be close for like the first half. I still think that the Panthers defense will step up and, try and do what they can, but I think over the course of 4 quarters, the Texans will get to them.
All right, sounds good, guys. Sounds good. So, I got my caller calling in. So we're going to get him involved and go from there. Guys, you are listening to Mr. John Fenley. What's going on, brother? How are you today?
Good. How's it going up there?
Oh, we're fantastic. Pleasure having you on the line.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, John, thanks for coming on, man.
Absolutely. Guys, so
big day today.
Mr. Fenley, can you can you let the nation know a little, because you're basically being broadcast over 179 countries right now, and a lot of people, I'd like to introduce you and like to hear a little bit about yourself, your resume, and what you're bringing to the table. Can you go, please?
Well, sure. I've been doing this, blogging about pro football, and most notably the Giants, the New York Giants, almost 20 years since it started. I was one of the originals. And before that, I had a Wall Street career, and I've been around the block a few times. So I do write certain articles when it comes to like football financials and the economics of the game, certain things like that. But basically, I'm just covering the Giants at this point in time.
All right, fantastic. So you know what we're going to do is we're going to jump right into the Giants game since we have you on the line. I think that's going to be the most appropriate thing for us to do. And, John, so you just covered the New York Giants. Are you involved in any other teams? Obviously, you watch football. But
yeah.
The team you feel most comfortable with is obviously breaking down the New York Giants.
Yeah, I mean, I could do any team. I go to the NFL draft every year. I cover the draft.
So. All right, sweet.
Well, John, I got to ask you because, the Giants are my team, and is Coughlin is he just lost a little bit? I mean, you have 2 years in a row now where it looks like he's just not as sharp. Well, I mean, I got to ask what your thoughts are on that.
Yeah, they've been hit with some unprecedented situations. The Jason Pierre-Paul thing is just a fiasco.
Right.
They tried to handle that the best they could. I mean, the guy did not cooperate with their requests to be examined by team doctors, and he wouldn't come in, and he doesn't want to sign his tender, and basically he's not on the team, although his number is cap effective, so it is holding them up to some extent. But I think Tom overall, he's 69 now. He's a very energetic guy, and age is really not the issue with him. I think it may be the fact that he's just doing it too long. Bill Belichick, you see he's doing it just as long as Tom, maybe even longer. But he has more trusted assistants. He grooms his assistants. With the Giants, Ben McAdoo, offensive coordinator, last year was his first year calling plays at any level. And, now Steve Spagnuolo is back, and, he's had a rough ride since he left the Giants the first time. So, they're trying to put it all back together. There's a lot of newness there, and, he likes to be in control of things, and, no one can be in control of this. Too many moving parts right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I just felt his in-game coaching has not looked like it did, 5-6 years ago. That was just my only inference from that, but.
Absolutely. So, guys, we're looking at the game today. We got the Atlanta Falcons coming into town, into New York, and the Giants are given 2.5 points with an under-over of 51. John, we noticed that Eli Manning was walking into the tunnel today and got his bag checked.
John, we hear that since Plaxico had shot himself in the leg, that's common protocol now for the Giants.
Yeah, they've got a lot of issues, and I just don't understand what was going through Eli's head last week on that third down play. There was a penalty on the play, and the Giants should have had a first and goal, but they didn't call it. The league, of course, after the game admits that they made a mistake. At the time, no one was calling for a holding penalty on Fells, who was the intended receiver there. But the league reviewed the game, and they said that should have been called. So I personally think he just should have slid, ran out the clock, got the field goal, and limited the Cowboys to under a minute with the football on that last drive. But that's just me.
So, John, you're saying that that was Eli's call to throw the ball, not the coaching staff's call to throw the ball?
No, the play was on the player. The player is supposed to run the clock down, not stop the clock at any cost. And he threw an incomplete pass. He threw it out of the end zone.
Well, what I'm saying
is that was his decision.
Right. But no, what I mean, though, is they didn't call. They told him, call the play you want. You could call a run or a pass. I thought they called for him. Oh, okay. All right. Wow.
He's supposed to eat the ball.
Okay.
Is it? I mean, I thought I heard, maybe you would know better. Coughlin, McAdoo, nobody told Eli, though, if he did call a pass to get down. Look, I know it's on the player. I know being in the league and being a veteran like he is, he should know to go down. But
no, they didn't.
Supposedly none of the coaches told him.
Right. That's right. But, this is his 12th or 13th year, and he should have just slid. Just run and slide. Yeah. He's not going to get a touchdown. I mean, he's not going to run straight into the end zone. They would have nailed him before that, but just slide.
Well, I would have liked
an extra 40 seconds.
Yeah. I would have liked just having him hand off the ball
4 times.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Just hand it off. I mean, look, you got to put Jennings and
I'm complicated like that, though.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I figured was going to happen. The Cowboys lined up to stop that. But, 1 yard is 1 yard. In the NFL, you can't get that, then, you better pack it up.
So is Julio Jones going to have 400 yards receiving against us today?
He's having some physical issues right now. I don't know if he's 100%. But usually he eats the Giants alive. So does Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan's got like a 70% pass completion rating against the Giants in 2 games. 500, 600 yards or something he's got.
Yep.
Wow,
so
okay.
They won't touch him either today, so he's going to have a good day. So if you're playing fantasy out there, get on Ryan right now.
Really? So even with
the only thing that the Giants could do is maybe pick him off. Maybe.
Right. They got to win a circle.
They didn't sack Romo. Well, they did. But, Romo only got hit once. He didn't get sacked. He could have played in his pajamas. They had no pass rush.
Wow.
And
that's why they're hanging on to Jason Pierre-Paul.
Yeah.
What's that?
And Beeson's definitely out today again, too, right?
I don't see him playing today, no.
Yeah, so, I mean, unless Spagnuolo starts calling a lot of, the really inventive, safety blitzes, corner blitzes, things like that, I do not feel very good about this game.
No.
But
on the flip side, the Falcons are now playing Seattle-type defense with Dan Quinn as their head coach. He's the Seattle defensive coordinator. So he's got them lined up like the Seahawks. They don't have the personnel the Seahawks do, but, they're still going to be difficult to score against.
John, let me ask you, because I thought that there were a bunch of bright spots as a Giant fan, watching them play defense against the Cowboys last week. I know they lost the game, but defensively, they did not look that bad.
No, they didn't. And, one of the reasons is I don't think Dallas's running game is that good. I mean,
okay.
They let DeMarco Murray go, and then Joseph Randle, he's their top back. Darren McFadden is good in spurts, but they really don't have a good scrimmage, every down running back.
Right.
They all can catch the ball out of the backfield, and we saw that. But when it comes to just running the ball, vanilla running game, they don't really have it now.
Right.
So that helped.
Of course.
And Des Bryant missing most of the game too. That also helps because he usually eats the Giants alive.
Right, and that was my key though. I was thinking with the secondary being so vanilla and question marks, you've got Dez on one side at the beginning of the game, Terrence Williams also, you're sprinkling in Witten. You're wondering, just how much the Cowboys are going to rip that defense apart, and it just they didn't. I mean, it was that defense played very well. Yeah.
They're inexperienced at safety. Collins is going to take a couple of games maybe to catch it. I mean, he's a really good talent. Mm-hmm. But Principal Kamara and DRC, Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie, are very good. They're both healthy. And let me tell you, they're playing great. They played a good game the other day.
Yes.
The only thing, everything was down the middle with Dallas. And, of course, Giants have always been bad down the middle.
And
they haven't been good since Chase Blackburn was there.
Yeah, no, I agree. And, that's the other reason why I think the Giants might have a shot because, Atlanta's tight end these days is like Jacob Tamme, who's not great. So, if the Giants can avoid getting gashed up the middle by a good tight end, definitely beneficial.
Yeah, they really have to get that together. I mean, Malani Unga played his first NFL game. Landon Collins, his first NFL game. I mean, come on. They'll get it sooner or later. I think their defense is going to come together, but the pass rush, once they get Devin Kennard involved, it's not going to be much. And Demontre Moore has to really pick up his game, too. I mean, he's been a disappointment.
Oh, 100%. But I think the coaching staff screwed up with his development a little bit. But that's just me. I mean, I'm no NFL coach, but
yeah, he was 20 when they drafted him more, so he has a maturity issue too.
Right.
Got it.
So he's
maturity issues in the NFL.
Yeah, especially on the Giants. I mean, they make it so easy for everybody. The transition from college to pro when you get to the Giants is, they butter your bread here. I mean, you don't really have to do a whole lot. Some teams let you, hang out to dry. The Giants don't do that.
Yeah.
They get them involved in the culture. That's why you see a lot of rookies on the conference don't play a lot.
Okay.
Because he's still indoctrinating them into his way.
Got it.
And people complain about that, but now they have no choice. They've had injuries galore. They've led the NFL in injury 3 years in a row.
Yep.
I mean, how is that possible?
Sure.
Oh no, I saw some write up how it's statistically almost it's like infinitesimal the percentage chance of it happening, but it does. It always seems to happen to the Giants.
And the guys that get hurt are their best guys.
Yeah, agreed.
So people saying they have no depth. I think you have depth for Victor Cruz. There is no other Victor Cruz. That's it. He's the only one.
Or 5 starting.
Once you got Wes Welker in his prime.
Yep, exactly. Guys, we are listening right now to Mr. John Fennelly, lead writer for SNY covering the New York Giants. Stellar guest, man, stellar information. So back to the meat and potatoes. You think that the Giants or the Atlanta Falcons are going to come out and win this game today, Mr. John?
Well, they were here last year. I mean, a completely different team, the Mike Smith team. And so the Giants managed to beat them. But, the Falcons do have some quick guys, fast players. I don't think Julio Jones is going to be much of a factor. Because he's been injured and because of the way Cromartie, Rogers Cromartie and Luke Kamara are playing, I think he's going to negate them. But there's other guys that I worry about. The rookie running back, Tevin Coleman. This guy could break it at any time. Then you got Roddy White. Everyone kind of takes him for granted, but he's always open.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Ryan will look for Jones, but if he wants to really get a first down or get a big play, he'll go to White, and White can still beat him. I'm just a little concerned with that. But, what I'm really concerned about is him having too much time to throw. They really have to mix things up and try to get him to move off his spot because he's kind of a stationary passer. If you can get him to move a little bit, maybe you'll get something.
What do you think the Giants offer as far as their offense is concerned?
Well, when you have Odell Beckham Jr., the rest is easy because they're going to have, probably 3 or 4 eyeballs on him all game. So somebody else is open. Daniel Fells is out, but they have a new tight end, Jerome Cunningham, who was very impressive in practice, training camp, and in the preseason. So I'm looking for him to maybe have 6 or 7 catches because Larry Donnell just can't hold on to the football.
Yeah.
So they'll look to get this Cunningham involved in the game. I'm telling you, I see if they do what they do in practice with him, he's going to have a big day. Eli will actually trust him and throw him the football. But, they got to get the running game going. They've got to get Jennings. They've got to get Williams in there. They got to bang the ball a little bit. And they got to get Vereen involved, catching the football. And Reuben Randall has done nothing. He has tendonitis in his knees. He's not even getting open. He's got to step up his game. He's got to get open. The Giants have a couple of young receivers also, but, he's the guy that's got to benefit from having Odell on the field. I mean, he's the other receiver. So if he doesn't have a big day today, I don't really see them winning this game. He's got to catch the football today.
Right.
Any thoughts of maybe using Vereen, since Cruz is out, maybe using Vereen a little more instead of just third down situations, maybe trying to get him the ball a little more in the flats?
Yes. The problem is that, like I said, the play calling is not streamlined and seamless. Eli and Ben McAdoo, they seem to be working a little bit better together, but, they really don't have a rhythm.
Gotcha.
So you can't say, okay, what we're gonna do? We're gonna run Jennings 3 times in a row. They won't do that. They'll try to get the ball into everybody's hands. It's not a democracy. Get the ball to the guys who can score, the guys who are going to make plays. Don't worry about anybody's feelings.
I noticed last week the Giants went into more of an up-tempo type offense. Do you expect to see some more of that this week throughout the game, or is it just going to be 2-minute situations, end of the game, or can we expect to see it? It looks like Eli gets a little bit more comfortable with an up-tempo, no-huddle type rhythm. Should we expect that from the majority of the game?
Depends on how the game goes. I would expect them to do just the opposite.
Okay.
Because they don't want their defense on the field like they did last Sunday night. If you look at the time of possession, it was disgusting. Dallas had the ball 37 minutes. Yep. What they want to do is probably slow the game down, keep the ball away from Atlanta, try to run the football a little bit. But like I said, they're unpredictable. You don't understand what they're doing. There's no rhythm. If you watch the Seahawks, Marshawn Lynch is going to bang that ball. And you're not going to stop them. So the Giants don't do that. They should just try to get the ball to Beckham. If that's their plan, just keep throwing the ball at him, and then somebody else will emerge as a secondary receiver. The Giants will be able to drive the football. But I expect them to try to burn some more clock this week.
All right,
even though that's not their strength. But they're going to need to do that because their defense can't be exposed for 37 minutes, that's for sure.
Cool deal. All right, guys, this is John Fennelly we're talking to right now. So real quick, Dream and Dan, we'll get your opinions after our guest is off as far as who you're taking, if you're going to bet this game or not. But I want to move over to because we're talking, and I know you cover NFC East. I mean, mostly the Giants, but
sure.
Let's discuss Dallas and Philly. Because you know what? This is a monster game here. So, I'd like to hear your thoughts on what's going to happen in this particular matchup because I know a lot of people are going to be all over this game today, John. What's your thoughts on Dallas coming into Philadelphia today?
Well, Dallas is coming into Philadelphia. It's probably the marquee game of the week, I would imagine, right?
Absolutely.
Except for Seattle-Green Bay. That's another marquee game. But Philadelphia, it's still a lot of new pieces there. And Bradford has to get comfortable. He's got good weapons. We know he can do it, but the thing is we have to see him do it. Romo's missing Des Bryant, and they have not – there's no backfill for Des Bryant. I mean, they don't have anybody. Nobody has a player like that. So you look for a guy like Cole Beasley. You look for a guy like Terrence Williams to step up a little bit. Jason Witten, at his age, still a workhorse. Scored the winning touchdown last night. Look for him. Look for more passes out of the backfield from Dallas. Like I said, I don't think their running game is that strong, but I don't think Philadelphia's run defense is spectacular either. When the Eagles are on defense, they have a lot of athletic people, but they don't skate. They don't have a sack artist anymore that can come and get you. I think Romo will do well with the receivers he has, but they won't be able to run the ball. It's probably going to be a high-scoring game because both teams are going to have to throw.
Yeah.
To win. I mean, that's just the way it is. I don't see it as a lopsided game. Murray is playing, with the Eagles now, and he's going to have a little extra motivation. But still, that's not their game, running the football. They'll run the football in the red zone, the Eagles, but, they won't run it, in the middle of the field. That's not the way they operate. Chip Kelly wants to go bang, 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 bang down the field. That.
Gotcha.
The quickest way between points is a straight line. That's the way he thinks. So I see a very tight game. I don't favor either one. But like I said, Bradford is still the unknown. He's the variable, but if he plays well, the Eagles will win. If he doesn't, they're not going to.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. And, where I think, you worry in this game is that I think Bradford's going to get dinged a little bit here. And obviously everybody knows he's made of glass. So, he gets a couple hits on him. You could definitely shake him a little bit, if not knock him out of the game.
It's always in the forefront of his mind being injured, that's for sure.
Right.
When a guy gets injured like that, it's always on his mind. I mean, he's never comfortable. So, that's the one thing that when they chose him to be their quarterback, I said, he must know something, Kelly. But, I'm thinking maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's just taking a chance if he's rolling the dice on this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, last week,
he definitely
played okay. He played okay last week. I mean, Romo played great. I mean, of course, when nobody's near you, you're playing your underwear. I mean, you can throw it anywhere. He had plenty of time. I mean,
definitely.
He won't have that much time this week, but he makes good decisions now. He doesn't make a lot of bad decisions like he used to. So,
all right.
He'll eat you alive. Tony Romo is, it's a regular season game, so.
Right.
Him and Peyton Manning, they're the tops when it comes to a regular season game.
Yeah, until the playoffs come. Exactly. So, in your opinion, John, who do you think is going to emerge out of the NFC East this year?
Oh, boy, I'll tell you who's not going to emerge. Washington is one.
Yes, definitely.
I mean, they may be the worst team in the league. I mean, they're bad.
Yeah.
I mean, they've mismanaged just about every situation they've had since Snyder took over the team. I mean, the RG3 thing is just a debacle. They're not going with Kirk Cousins, and, he's been bounced around too, and, he's not really a starter. I mean, let's face it. Their defense is not that good anymore either. They've lost all their defensive players. I mean, they have Ryan Kerrigan, they have a couple of guys. They don't have a rock pump. I mean, they don't have any of the guys that were leading their defense back 3-4 years ago when they could have made the playoffs and made the playoffs that one year. They don't have that. They do have Alfred Morris. He can make first downs. He's a really good runner. But their receivers, not too much there. I mean, now that Deshaun Jackson's out again, I mean, Pierre Garçon is not what he used to be. So I don't really see that. And I don't think, here's another thing. Jay Gruden is the head coach. I think he was a very poor choice. And, Mike Shanahan had said that. And Mike Shanahan has been very vocal because, the way the Redskins just, kicked him out of the car while the car was moving.
Yeah, right.
He didn't like the way they handled the RG3 situation and the hiring of Jay Gruden. If you're going to hire a Gruden, hire the one that knows how to win.
Yeah, right, exactly. Good, very good point.
John Gruden, right? So,
very good point.
That was a mistake, I think. And I don't see the Giants, if they go 8-8, man, that'll be a miracle. I think you'll see a lot of games like the one we saw last week, losing by 7 or less, or 1 point. They just don't have it. Victor Cruz has to come back. He's nowhere near the field right now. He's walking on a treadmill in a pool. So that's for people who have strokes who do that.
Yep.
That's where he's at. That's his physical conditioning. He's using something like a 75-year-old man who had a stroke goes into a pool or a treadmill in a pool. So he can't fall.
Brutal.
Brutal. I mean, so when you're doing that kind of therapy, I mean, how far away is this guy from playing? And they need him.
That's concerning.
So, yeah, absolutely.
Very concerning.
JTT, I'm sure you saw his hand. Or a picture of his hand without the dressing on it.
Does he ever play again?
He can't play with that hand.
No.
I mean, if you're an offensive lineman, the first thing you're going to do is smack that hand.
Yeah, right.
And control the other hand. He can't get around you then. If he can't do, basic, what they call violent hands with an offensive lineman, he can't play that position. And he's playing right defensive end. That's the hand that's going to be exposed towards the sideline. They'd have to move him over to left defensive end.
Right.
And, he'd have to learn how to play that position all over again. I just don't see it happen. And it's, his tender is going to probably end up being revoked, or maybe they'll give him some kind of. They don't have to give him any kind of money, but they'd like, want to see the guy, not get paid at all.
Right.
But it was an off the field injury, a very foolish move by him. An M80 blockbuster or whatever the hell it was. Yeah, so he's paying the price for it now. So I think when you're looking at the NFC, you're looking at Dallas and Philadelphia. The game tonight will tell you a little bit about, very early in the season, but it'll tell you a little bit about who's where. I mean, without Dez Bryant, it's difficult for Dallas to really scare you through the air. I mean, they're going to have to figure it out here. And, Philadelphia with Bradford, if he can succeed, those are the two things you see. Their defenses are average. I don't think their defenses are that good, on either side. They're competitive. So it's going to be between them, and whoever wins this game obviously has an advantage down the road.
Yep.
If there should be a tie, depending on what happens in the second game they meet. But so this is a big game tonight.
Absolutely.
Or this afternoon, excuse me.
Absolutely. Yep, 4:00. Looking forward to it. Guys, you're talking to Mr. John Fennelly right now. Looking forward to reading some more of your stuff moving forward, John. Your information is stellar. We really appreciate it. Can you tell everybody where to find you and, find all your blogs and all that good stuff, please?
Right. You can find us at bigblueblitz.com. It's part of the SNY.TV family of blogs. SNY TV naturally is owned by the New York Mets baseball team, and that's their channel. And this is the website that accompanies the TV station. So we have blogs for we have JetBlog. JetBlog is very popular. And, of course, blogs for all the other New York teams. Mets blog may be the most visited, it was at one time, the most visited sports blog in the world.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, that's a big blog. Jets blog is pretty big, too. I mean, you're talking about millions of views every month. So.
All right, cool.
That's a big
Yeah,
one, too.
John, I mean, I just want to say personally, I appreciate what you do. As obviously a huge, lifelong fan of the Giants, I've actually read your stuff before, and I think your stuff is normally spot on. It's great. I just appreciate that.
Well, thank you. Some people don't agree with me, but
Hey, I'm the ultimate contrarian. You don't got to tell me about that, man.
I don't pander to the readers. I got to tell the truth. I think.
Oh, absolutely.
That's why I like it, man. You just tell it like it is.
Absolutely, yeah. New York media is pretty tough, man. I saw Eli Manning with a dunce cap on the other day on a cover of one of the magazines.
The Post, yeah.
Yeah, calling him a dope.
I mean, that's a little bit too far. I mean,
yeah. They went a little crazy on him, man. So,
they're trying to sell papers. The newspaper business is really suffering.
Yeah.
I saw the New York Daily News had let go a lot of senior writers, including Mike Lupica.
Yeah,
they let him a whole bunch of them.
They called it what did they call it? The Black Day for journalism that day.
Yeah, they just can't sell enough papers. The Daily News is getting whipped by the Post, and the Times is really an international newspaper. So, they just can't compete anymore.
Right, exactly.
And Newsday just got sold along with Cablevision, so we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, maybe we'll finally get the Pac-12 network and the SEC network now. Thank God out of Dolan's hands.
I don't know. Those are two big networks. I mean, if you have Verizon Fios, you got them. If you have Cablevision, you're not going to get them.
I have, and I happen to live in one of the only spots in Connecticut where we have no option, no AT&T Uverse, no Fios, Cablevision or nothing, baby.
Yeah, that's not good. You got to have a choice.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So what games? Is there any other games you guys want to go over? I mean, I just put my fantasy lineup in. I really don't know.
I'm curious to hear that.
It's going to be hot.
Yeah, let's just hear. Yeah, let's hear your fantasy lineup. What you got, real quick?
You want to tell my DraftKings lineup?
Yeah, what do you got?
I've got Drew Brees, Jeremy Hill. You guys are gonna pump this in now?
Yeah, right.
No, I already got mine locked in.
Oh, okay, you're locked in. FanDuel, you're going to be locked in pretty soon, so you're going to make your changes now.
Yep.
Drew Brees, Jeremy Hill, Mark Ingram, Keenan Allen, Brandon Cooks, Jarvis Landry, Cole Beasley. Somebody's got to catch a ball down there for Dallas. The Rams defense and the tight end. I'm going to go with Cunningham from the Giants. I think he's going to get some looks today.
Wow.
And he's cheap.
We're similar in a lot of spots, and since you gave out your lineup, I think it's only fair. I'm actually going.
I have another one.
I'm starting Mariota against Cleveland.
Oh, okay.
I got Alfred Blue and Carlos Hyde. Like you, I got Keenan Allen, but then I'm starting Larry Fitzgerald and DeAndre Hopkins. I got Gronk for my tight end because I still don't think the Bills can cover him. Devontae Adams for the Packers, and again, the Rams defense. I think the Rams roll today.
They're playing Washington, who basically, if Alfred Morris doesn't run the ball well, I mean, they're kind of done.
Right.
And the Rams' defensive line is awesome. I mean, it's just incredible.
Yeah,
this kid they drafted last year.
I like that team a lot.
Aaron Donald, yeah. They've got it. They've got it there. I think, they'll get the sacks, and that's where you'll get your points. I don't know if they'll score on defense, but
they might have a good.
You never know.
So the offense should be decent. It should be a decent offense if they don't turn the ball over. So they could definitely make some noise.
Yeah.
Yep,
Now, the other line, 2 lineups. Actually, I have 3 lineups, but the third one I'm not going to tell you because I've got Matt Ryan at quarterback. You know? So if I have to watch this game, you know, and I watch him tear up the Giants, maybe I can make a few bucks on that. You know, so that's kind of, you know, that's only for $2 that game, so it doesn't matter. Cool. But I like Carson Palmer today.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Cardinals are really, you know, they're going to be a playoff team, and they're going to go deep, I think.
Wow.
You know, if they can beat Seattle, they've shown that they can beat Seattle.
Yep.
So that's one team, and they certainly could beat Green Bay. You know, the Green Bay, you know, to me, I just don't see them on defense. I mean, they do have a decent defense, but, you know, Aaron Rodgers, you know, at times, you know, he's a great player. His numbers are all there. Sometimes he doesn't make the play that he needs to make.
Agreed. I just think that game would come down to where it's played. If that game would be played in Arizona, you know, I definitely think, you know, it's the Cardinals. But if you play that game in 2 degrees in Green Bay, that's going to be a problem for Arizona.
Sure.
Some other players that I see today, Bishop Sankey, you know, kind of a sneaky guy, you know. Like you guys had Mariota. I mean, he's going to get the ball to Sankey. You know, he was a high draft pick, and they want to see him succeed. He had a good game last week. John Brown and Fitzgerald I have with Palmer to try to get those hookups. And Tyler Eifert, the TE for the Bengals. I think he's finally ready to break out.
Yeah, I think Eifert is a great play. I'm starting him in my in the SBTV Nation Fantasy League that we have started for here.
Nice.
So I agree. I think he breaks out. And, you know, Bishop Sankey, again, 100% right there. You know, at Cleveland notorious for giving up high points to running backs.
Yeah.
I think they're always in the top 3. Always in the top 3, it seems like. So, great start there.
Yeah, so, you know, with the salary cap, I mean, you really try to balance it out. And you want to play a guy and you want to play another guy, and you can't fit them all in. You know, like you see on the commercial, you just put your lineup in it. They had like the number 1 guys for, you know, in every position. I mean, that lineup would have cost $120,000.
I know.
On the DraftKings.
I know. You got Drew Brees. You got Marshawn Lynch. You've got Jimmy Graham.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He probably wouldn't even win with that lineup.
I know. It's crazy.
It takes a lot of luck for fantasy football. You know, I was one of the guys at CBS Sports when they developed the fantasy, you know, the online fantasy league. My brother and I were integral in setting the rules and how they wanted to score it, because we had one of the first leagues on it. Yep. And we're going way back now, late 90s maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
And they, you know, they took a lot of our material, our suggestions, which was good. And now that's out of control. I wish I would have got a piece of the action back then, but. Now it's an insane
business.
They
believe in equity 20 years ago.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
It's
Listen,
an insane business, man.
We got to get going here, John. We've got you know, we're almost at the top of the hour, and we got a couple of things left to do. But please tell everybody once again before we disconnect where to find you and all that good stuff, please.
Yeah, you could. Sports Media 101 is one site that I edit and write for, and the. My main gig is BigBlueBlitz.com. That's the Giants blog.
All right, cool deal. Nice. All right, we appreciate it, guys. Lead writer for the New York Giants, man. So, hey, thank you so much, and we really appreciate you calling in, John. And you know, definitely like to get you back at some point.
No problem, man.
All right,
I got plenty of time.
All right, brother. Thank you so much, man. John,
Thank
and good luck today with everything.
You too now.
All right. Take care.
Take care, guys.
All right, man. All right, guys. Some stellar information from our guest, huh?
Yes, great stuff. By the way, don't take a side in the Giants Falcons.
Don't take a side in the Giants.
No, that's just going to be a stomachache.
All right. It looks like it might be. Let's just talk about those games real quick. So, Dan, what do you? So you're not doing Giants or Atlanta?
No.
Dream, are you messing with that or no?
No, I'm not on it as well. Nope.
Okay, sounds good. And let's jump right into the other one that we were breaking down, which was the Philadelphia Eagles and Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to start with you on this one, Dream.
I'm a big fan of Philly today. I liked what I saw last week out of Philly. Obviously, I didn't like what I saw in the first half, but I did like what I saw in the second half. They got it going in the second half. I don't know what happened to them in the first half of that game. If they had some bus trouble getting over to the stadium, if somebody lost their luggage, if there was something that just had them where their heads were not in the game at all, because they came out in the beginning of that game, they looked like clueless. You know what I mean? Like they didn't know what they were trying to do. Whatever happened, they went in the locker room and they got it together for the second half. I expect them to not have that same kind of clueless feel today, as it is their home opener. They're at home, so the stadium should be somewhat electric. They are playing one of their rivalries, and I believe that Dallas is limping in. I wasn't impressed with Dallas at all last week, and then now you remove Des Bryant from the mix, okay? Williams is pretty good. Beasley, I like him. He's a hustle guy, but he does drop the ball a lot. He does take a lot of hard hits, goes in places where he maybe shouldn't go into. And then, the run game is still, like I said, not really happening. I didn't see big things out of that run game last week. The one thing I did see that I don't think anybody's talked about last week's run game, when Darren McFadden ran, he did look pretty explosive to me. They didn't use him a lot, but when I did see him last week, he looked pretty good. So, keep an eye on that. That is a Bryce Puffer guy. Other than that, though, I don't really see the Cowboys offensively. I don't see them posing a lot of issues. They're going to have to change a lot of what they did last week for Philly. I expect Philly's up-tempo. The Giants moved the ball all over Dallas's defense last week. Philly is going to be moving the ball just that much faster. I think that in the second half, Bradford looked really sharp. Philly's obviously expecting, maybe him to get hit. I think Matthews will have a big impact on this game. I think Philly will look good in this game. I really think Philly will bounce back, and as long as they can keep what they had going on, the defense stepped up and the offense stepped up in the second half of that game against Atlanta. As long as they start off the game like that, I think they got way too much for Dallas.
All right, sounds good. What about you, Dan?
Yeah, look, I'm not putting money on this. I think the Eagles have problems, and I think Dallas has some major problems. And, without Des Bryant on the field, it's going to be that much easier to bottle up Witten. I think the Eagles will have a good plan for that. You'll be able to put a middle linebacker on him, and if he gets into the secondary, you'll have a safety over the top, or a cornerback on him. Because I think Cole Beasley, while he's a decent receiver, he's decent when he's got a number one on the other side of the field. I don't know, man. I'm like I said, I'm not putting money on this, but I agree with Dream. I think the Eagles probably win this game.
Hey, and the last point of it is you got DeMarco Murray, a guy that kind of knows the Cowboys a little bit. So maybe he
running mad.
We'll be looking to run. Even though I also have to say too, I did like the way Ryan Matthews ran last week more than DeMarco Murray. So if Murray can't get it going, they'll probably opt for
I thought Chip Kelly was really weird about that. He only had 3 carries and he was gashing them on each one. So he also can catch some passes out of the backfield. I think you're going to see some things where you see a backfield with both guys. Mm-hmm. And and how the Eagles are so good east to west. Mm-hmm. I don't know if Dallas's defense. I think Dallas' defense is very good. I don't know if they have the speed to keep up with Philly.
Agreed.
Got it.
Especially running a no huddle.
Yep, absolutely, man, absolutely. So, and Des Bryant is out. It's saying expected to miss 10 to 12 weeks.
Yeah.
So that's a long.
Oh, it's now
time.
10 to 12. I know that he got a screw.
They were borderline. Yeah, they were borderline talking about him. There's some issues thinking that he may be out for the whole season.
Wow.
I wouldn't be surprised. Look, guys, he's getting a screw put in his foot. I've seen that. That's ended guys' careers. There's other guys that have bounced back and been just fine, but screwing the foot for a speed receiver, it's a bad thing.
Got it. All right, man. So going to the next game we have on the ticket is the surprising San Francisco 49ers coming into the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh minus 6.5, under over of 45.5. I can tell you guys this much. I think the Steelers win this game. I'm not impressed with their defense at all, and I was actually, Dream, it was really surprising what kind of defense that the 49ers showed up with last week. But taking a look at this particular game, I mean, San Francisco is traveling across country. They just played on Monday night. I think the Steelers get the job done. What's your thoughts on this, Dream?
Well, once again, I mean, San Fran is traveling across country, but they are not going by way of, horse stagecoach. They didn't take a stagecoach to get to Pittsburgh. So they're going to be okay, Hat. They'll be fresh.
All right.
This game presents a lot of interesting intangibles. I don't have a feel for it at all. At first sight, you want to say, hey, you know what? Pittsburgh's going to do their thing, but the Niner defense last week, I got to tell, and I don't know if it was just, the Viking offensive line is that bad, which could be, and the Niner defense is that good, and it's probably a combination of both, which is always is. However, their defense was incredible last week. Their defense looked really, really good. And I'm surprised with the amount of people that they lost that defense could look that good. They got to be feeling themselves, and part of football is mental, and part of playing well is your confident and mental level. So they are very confident of what they can do. So that's one thing that I think is in the Niners' in favor, is that their defense was successful last week, so they're going to play defensively well this week. Steelers, throw the ball downfield really well. Last week, they were able to gash the Patriot defense, that I don't think that's that great with their running game. I don't see them running the ball quite as effectively against the Niner defense. Throwing the ball down the field, they may have some success at, but I don't see them running the ball like they did against the Patriots, against San Fran. The flip side of that is San Fran showed me offensively in the 10 plays that they ran, because that seemed like all they ran was just hide off the left side. I do not believe – I know that the Steelers' defense is not good at all, but my thing is, if you can't stop a run off the corner – I mean, at an NFL level, I can't explain to you how hard it is to consistently run off the corners in the NFL. It's a simple adjustment that I think most defensive coordinators can break down to you in less than 2 seconds, what you do with the safeties and what you do. And then you say, okay, let them beat us over the top. Why the Vikings were able to stop Hyde? And I get Hyde's a talented runner. I'm not going to say he's not talented. But the way he ran against the Vikings off the corner – I don't think the Niners are going to be able to get that to happen this week even against a bad Steeler defense. I just don't see that happening, which means that you're going to have to put the ball in Kaepernick's hands, and he's still going to make the throws. Now, I know a lot of you guys, a lot of people hit me up and said, oh, Kaepernick didn't look bad, blah, 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 blah. Listen, when your run game is as effective as Carlos Hyde was last week, your passing game has no choice but to be effective. There was still spots that Kaepernick missed guys, overthrew guys, threw the ball over their heads, threw the ball in the ground. So this game, like I said, it's wide open as far as I'm concerned. I got to watch. I'm very interested in watching the game, but I have no side.
All right. I'm thinking I'm going to put the Steelers in a moneyline parlay with something. Dan, what's your thoughts on this?
I like the Steelers because of everything you said, right? The short week, the flight across country. And Dream, I know what you're saying. Obviously, they fly in the luxury jet. They're all set. They got everything they need. But it's still, with the time change.
Act like they hitchhiking.
No. It's the time change. You guys know how hard it is, especially like if you've been partying like NFL guys party. After that win, it was a short week, and then they got to go out, and jet lag and all that. I like Pittsburgh, but this 49ers defense definitely impressed me. I mean, and that's an understatement. So I'm not touching it, especially at 6 points. If I was going to do anything, I might throw Pittsburgh in a moneyline par, but that would be about it.
All right, sounds good, man. Next game we have on the ticket is the Buccaneers coming into the New Orleans Saints.
Hey, real quick, sorry, just one more thing about that.
Yeah.
got to take your hat off to Mangini. Mangini definitely proved that he is definitely, one of the better defensive minds in the league as far as coaching. To do what he's done with that Niner defense, that says a lot about his coaching abilities.
Yeah, especially after losing all the guys.
Yeah,
definitely special.
Absolutely. All right, so the Bucks coming into the Saints in the Superdome. New Orleans minus 9.5 with an under/over of 47. I don't think New Orleans has any business giving all those points, and I think you guys may agree with me, but I'd like to hear what the evil genius has to say about that. What's your thoughts, brother?
Oh, I couldn't agree more.
All right.
I mean, look, I understand that. I mean, the Buccaneers looked absolutely pitiful.
Yep.
I mean, that's like an understatement. They look terrible. But the Saints do not. The Bucs always play the Saints tight. Always. And people are acting like the Saints came out and didn't get killed in their first game. I mean, look, and I know it's the Cardinals, and the Cardinals, I think, are a great team. I think that legitimately great team. But, 10 points, like New Orleans will win this game, but I think they can win it by a field goal. I mean, I'm not taking Tampa Bay in the points. I'm kind of considering putting them in maybe a 7 or 10 point teaser.
Okay.
I know there are some books that have Tampa Bay at plus 10.5. So if I can find that and get it up to like plus 20.5, might do that because I just look. I think that Drew Brees is on the downside out, and he does not have the weapons that he's had in years past. I mean, he's got a 99-year-old Marquise Colston. He's got no Jimmy Graham. You saw they have nowhere to go in the red zone.
True.
And they don't have a great running game. So
got it.
I can't see them being 10-point favorites here.
All right. I remember those situations when they were 10-point favorites last year and punched us in the face. I don't even think they won some of those games. Dream, what's your thoughts?
I'm not playing the game. However, I think that the Saints will win and probably cover. I'm not playing it. I don't really like it. I just feel like what's going to end up happening is it may be tight, going into the middle of the third quarter. And then, famous Jameis makes a lot of bad decisions and bad mistakes. That's going to either lead to him either making more mistakes or getting sacked because he won't make a mistake this week and just still lead to bad gameplay no matter what. Mentally, it's got to be a mess for him. I don't know how they're going to get him out of that. I felt like he needed to sit on a bench behind a great quarterback and maybe get mentored for a year. But, whatever. He's going to go through a lot of growing pains. However, with the atmosphere, Saints being home, Saints are going to push the pedal to the metal in this game. Once they get ahead, they probably won't look back. I don't think you're going to see quite the same problems against Tampa Bay as you saw against Arizona. I hear you with, some of the guys being older and not getting open. Last week's game got a little bit, you remember, the Saints were in the game up until they ended up turning the ball over in Arizona territory very late in the game, and Arizona kind of there was a broken tackle, and they scored a touchdown, which took that game way out of reach. So that game actually looked like it was more of a blowout than it actually was. I expect the Saints to win at home. I'm not betting on it, guys, but I expect the Saints to win at home, and I kind of think they are going to cover their number.
All right, sounds good. Next one we have is a pretty interesting line here. We got the Detroit Lions coming into the Minnesota Vikings, and this is an outdoor game, guys, and Minnesota is minus 2.5 with an under/over of 44. Dream, I'm going to start with you on this one.
It's the eye test thing, and it's the thing you got to wonder, is Minnesota that bad, or was the Niners that good? But then on the flip side, you see the same thing about Detroit. Is Detroit that bad, and is San Diego that good? Because Detroit completely imploded last week. Did they learn anything from that? Are they going to be better traveling in this game? Once again, you got a dome team outside. I don't really know how you use those figures in this category, as Minnesota is a dome team as well, even though they're not playing in one this year. So once again, this particular trend, explain to me how you cap it now.
Yeah, right.
But
I don't think you have to worry about it for the next couple months, though.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, but I'm just saying people do the dome versus glass thing, and I don't know how you do this one, considering Minnesota is a dome team playing on glass themselves. Nevertheless, that being said, I don't have a side here either. I don't really like this game at all. I can't figure it out. I know Minnesota's defense could not stop the outside run last week on the left side. I would definitely expect Detroit to first take a couple little pot shots at that. If you can't stop the outside run, forget it. I mean, they're gonna get beat again. I would expect that Minnesota will try to get Adrian Peterson more involved as, Detroit's defense is, doesn't have Sue anymore. But then, I don't know who on Minnesota can cover Calvin Johnson. You know what I mean? I don't know who on Minnesota can cover any of the Detroit guys for the most part. So there's just a lot of question marks. I don't really like this game.
All right. Sounds good.
I love Detroit.
You do, huh? What do you got, Dan?
I do like Detroit. Look, they got gashed last week, and they definitely imploded. But they got gashed by Phillip Rivers and Keenan Allen. No, good. That can happen to any team in the league, I feel like. There is nobody on Minnesota that is Phillip Rivers and Keenan Allen. Look, Teddy Bridgewater, I had high hopes for him. His arm looked like a wet noodle.
Dude, I can't blame Teddy. Not to cut you off in your spot, but think about this for a minute, Dan. I don't know that you could blame Teddy for last week's game. That offensive line gave him zero time in that pocket last week.
Oh, 100%. But I still think even without Sue there, they can still rush the passer in Detroit.
Okay.
So, they're still going to get after Bridgewater. And the Vikings are saying now that they had communication problems on their O-line. How is that possible when you have, 9 weeks of offseason? I don't know, but look, I still think even the throws when Bridgewater wasn't under pressure were off target. They did not impress me at all. And like you said, I think Matt Stafford is going to have a game today. I don't think that Minnesota is going to be able to really get at him. And you're going to have Calvin Johnson running free. The running backs are going to have a good game. I like Detroit plus the points here, definitely.
You know what there is, though, in the back of your mind? And I love Minnesota with the offensive line was having communication problems. Yeah, they were having communication problems because they were on their back getting blown over by the Niners defensive line. It's hard to talk when you're on your back saying, damn. But you know what it is with Detroit? You can't trust Detroit on the road, man.
Yeah, I know.
You just can't trust them on the road. That's their problem. I would like to fire in this game as well, but you just cannot trust the Detroit Lions on the road, and for that reason, I am not touching it.
All right, sounds good.
Fair enough. I think Minnesota is going to be an epically bad team this year, honestly, though. So that's where I'm going with this.
All right. Next game we have on a ticket, guys, is something pretty interesting. I looked at this line; it kind of stood out at me earlier in the week, and we will have a conversation about it. Arizona Cardinals coming into the Chicago Bears. Arizona -2, under over of 46.5. I'm kind of debating on taking a shot with Chicago. I don't call me crazy, but
crazy.
I'm crazy for a long time.
I'll call you crazy.
Yeah, me too.
Wow. You guys really feeling this Arizona Cardinals?
No. Just not feeling the Bears.
Oh, okay.
Dude, dude, you might get 5 interceptions today.
You think so, huh?
Look. If this game was in Chicago, like I said, if this was December or January, I could understand the line.
Yeah.
Arizona, like I said, I think they have a chance to be a very, very, very good team. And you got to remember, Carson Palmer has played at Soldier Field a million times. So it's not like he's going to some unknown field. He knows that it's a crap field, that it's always chewed up, but the weather's good. Arizona has an amazing defense. And Chicago's defense, I think people just think, it's the Bears. Their defense is going to be okay. They are not okay. They're going to be the worst team. Well, maybe. I think Minnesota will be worse than them, but they're going to be close. They're going to be close. No Alshon.
Yeah, got you.
No Alshon Jeffrey today.
All right, I'll have to look at it a little bit further. Maybe you guys will talk me off the ledge.
The thing about Arizona is, the thing you got to keep in mind, and I've always been kind of a proponent of this, generally a defensively sound team travels a little bit better than an offensively, than an offensive juggernaut. Their defense will end up bailing them out if they get off to a slow start. This defense, like Dan said, it's one of the top defenses in the NFL for sure. They play very good defense. They're very sound. The thing with Arizona is they don't blow you off the page with their offensive talent, and I understand that. And then you look at the Bears. Don't say what you want about Cuddles, and guys, I don't really like Cuddles, but Cuddles can throw the ball. I mean, he can throw. I'll give him that. The guy's arm is incredible, and he's going to move the ball. But you know what the Bears do? They just do dumb stuff in the red zone, man. They just seem to have an affinity for just doing dumb things in the red zone and in big spots, and for that reason, this game is just for me, it's an Arizona or a no play.
All right, got it. You know what? I'll probably end up staying away from it. I mean, there's a lot of people on Twitter hitting me up too and telling me also to stay off it. So, hey, you know what, guys? Hopefully,
no, we want Hatter to take Chicago, please.
Shut up.
I need to get back what I was yesterday.
All right. Next one we got on the ticket is the New England Patriots coming into the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo is actually favored -1 with an under-over of 44. Dan, Rex Ryan is 1-0 over at Buffalo. Do you think he goes 2-0 today or nah?
No.
No?
No. Look, Buffalo is going to be a very good team this year. I mean, that defense is ridiculous. But look, in any matchup where it's a calling from brain power, you got to take Belichick. He's played against this defense. He knows the scheme inside and out. Granted that Buffalo has some different type of skill players than the Jets had when Ryan was there. Yep. But look, I think this is going to be a very close game. But and Rex Ryan admitted it. Who's covering Gronkowski? Okay, there is not a single defensive player in the league that can cover him 1-on-1 or maybe even 2-on-1. So I think Edelman will still have a good day. But the Bills are going to target him. They're going to try and rough him up. They're going to try and hit him hard with safeties when he takes passes over the middle. But this will be a good game, but in the end, I think the Patriots get it done.
All right, sounds good. I am feeling this smooth beat right now. Dream, what you got?
Gotta tell you, I'm on the other side. I think the Bills are going to win this game.
You think the Bills are going to win, huh?
I do. I think the Bills are going to win this game. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but I got to be honest with you. I was not impressed at all with the Patriot defense against the Steelers.
It was bad.
Okay, it was bad. They're coming in, to this Buffalo team. Nobody knows the Patriots like Rex Ryan, who knows them well. The Buffalo Bills, their defense is serious. Another serious defense. They're at home. They are up for this game. They probably circled it, in their preseason, and they circled it as this very important game to them. Rex takes this very personal against Bill Belichick. He's going to have that team up to play. And I guess, the words that I'm hearing about the Travon Taylor is that he's going to be a good quarterback. So I haven't seen him in the little bit that I have seen. It's not enough to evaluate. I am going to get a look at him today, obviously, and take a look. But, I know the Colts have an awful defense, but they still got professional athletes out there. He made him look a little bit silly. Like I said, the Patriots defense did not impress me. If this guy's one of those guys, and what I saw him do a lot last week was, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 situations, took off. The Patriots defense, he'll probably be able to run on them as well. So, this game, I really think I'm leaning towards the Bills. I am.
All right, sounds
good.
Yeah,
I mean, the thing that gets me too is, and this is part of why I'm not taking it at all, is Belichick against rookie quarterbacks is 11-5, and 2 rookie quarterbacks that he lost to were Super Bowl winning quarterbacks in Roethlisberger and Russell Wilson. And he did lose one when Mark Sanchez was a rookie. But remember, the Jets did go to the playoffs that year, so Rex Ryan has done it before. He's one of only 5 with a rookie quarterback to ever beat the Patriots. So
got it. All right, guys, sounds
Dan,
pretty good.
Giving us the rookie quarterback versus Belichick trend. I love that one, player.
That is a good one, man. I like that. I like it. All right, guys.
Bill walked into the meeting like, we got a rookie quarterback. Y'all relax. Fall back. I got this.
I got it. I got it under control. All right, nasty game on a ticket here. The San Diego Chargers coming into the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati -3. Under over of 47. Phillip Rivers last week, 404 yards with 2 TDs.
Oh.
Phillip Nasty Rivers, Dream.
Oh.
Your boy.
Yo, we got to talk about this game for a minute. As Rick Lopez hit me up late last night, and he said he was really interested in the breakdown of this game. And I was like, damn, Rick, I don't really have no breakdown for you other than it's one of the nastiest ones on the card.
Right. But
that's my boy. So I promised that I would give a little bit of talk about this game. You know, I don't know what you make it. I hate, you know, it's hard. I try to stay as unbiased as possible, but there's still that 1 to 2 teams that you hate. I really can't stand the San Diego Chargers. I don't know what it is with them. I've never liked Rivers. You know, I just don't like this team. I don't know. I just don't like the way they play football. I've never liked their system. I've never liked how there's just not. And you know what? It's funny. Norv Turner is now in Minnesota, isn't he? Dan,
are you there? Dan is not there. He got bumped off.
Lost
Dan.
I believe Norv Turner is over in Minnesota, and I think Norv Turner has something to do with it because he was a longtime guy with San Diego. Dan, you back?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, Dan, Norv Turner's over with Minnesota, right?
Yeah, Norv is.
And I didn't like Norv in San Diego, and I think that
nobody likes Norv Turner.
Yeah, I think that nobody likes him, but he's still got a job in NFL. Other cats are dope, and they're gone. But anyway, back to the San Diego thing. You know, I don't know what to make of Cincinnati. They looked awful in preseason. Obviously, we don't take anything from preseason. But last week a really test? Was it a real test? I don't know what to make of San Diego because they looked awful in the beginning of the game against Detroit. Then they looked incredible. But Rivers did mostly what he always does, as far as I'm concerned: close his eyes and throw the ball as deep as he could. But I will give them, they did look sharp in the second half against Detroit. I mean, they kind of smacked Detroit around in that second half, and we're like, look, we're gonna do what we want to do. I'll give them that.
The problem is, though.
Go ahead. No, go. Take it.
And I actually like San Diego here, but the one thing that scares me is that they targeted Keenan Allen 17 times.
Yeah.
Dude tied Kellen Winslow Sr. for 15 receptions. All right, that's great, but that just means that who else are they going to throw the ball to? And look, I got Keenan Allen on my fantasy team, so I hope it's a repeat performance. But I don't know. I mean, if Cincinnati finds a way to keep him in check, they could be in trouble. But I think San Diego is vastly underrated. Yeah, Cincinnati went on the road and beat the hell out of Oakland. Great. You beat Oakland, and you had Matt McGloin for half the game there. So, you know, that means nothing to me. I think San Diego comes in and actually wins on the field.
All right. Sounds good. So moving on to the next game, guys. I don't have an opinion on that one there, and I don't have an opinion on this one coming up either, but it's going to be a pretty interesting game. There's been a big line move in this one. The Tennessee Titans are coming into the Cleveland Browns. Tennessee 1-0, and the Browns obviously 0-1. Tennessee minus 1.5 with an under-over of 41. 65 degrees and cloudy out there right now. Dan, Tennessee Titans. Marcus Mariota, perfect passer rating last week, 4 touchdowns. What's your thoughts on this, Dan?
Yeah, I mean, I love the Titans here again today. I have them in a survivor pool. Okay. Cleveland is Cleveland. I mean, you got Manziel starting with a bad throwing elbow. They don't really have an offensive line. The running back situation would be good if their offensive line was better. And I think the Titans just obviously are better coached. I think they have really very little problem with Cleve today. I love the Titans here.
All right, sounds good. Dream, what's your thoughts on this particular matchup?
You know what we got here? Do we have the do we have? Everybody's going to go ham now based on seeing Marcus Mariota last week against Tampa Bay.
You're talking
and
about
now, you know what I'm saying?
The overreaction?
Right, exactly. I'm wondering if we're going to have a little bit of the overreaction. Doc, do you have the breakdown of Mike Patini's record against a rookie quarterback like you did for Belichick?
No, I don't. But I will tell you, I'm not leaving this one all up to Mariota. I think that Titans defense is vastly underrated. I think the Titans defense is good.
I got you. No, I had to tease you a little bit with that. I still don't feel that the Tennessee Titans is a good team. I think that they're better, improved. I also don't feel that the Cleveland Browns are a powerhouse either. So I'm not going to go into a bunch of rhetoric about them. And I don't know. We heard Mr. Feist come on Thursday. He talked about how he thinks that Johnny Manziel may not be an NFL quarterback. And I may be on that bandwagon with him as well. The only thing I think it's more of what he does in his off time. I think it's his commitment to trying to be a good NFL quarterback versus him just trying to rely on his talent. A lot of guys in the NFL, you got guys that rely on your talent and don't want to do the other work, and then you got guys who do the other work and don't just rely on your talent. And you generally, those guys who combine the both are great. And I just feel like Manziel probably doesn't want to put in the homework part of it that he should to be a good NFL quarterback. But anyway, that being said, don't really like this game. I don't know what either one of these teams have. I got to watch them again. I'm not going crazy about the Titans because they beat Tampa Bay last week off all those turnovers that Winston had, and some of them were like dreadful. And I'm not gonna go crazy with the Browns either. Browns last year were pretty good defensively and decent at home. So this looks like a hard fought game. Looks like a field goal game at the end. But I don't like it.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, it did open up with Cleveland being favored, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I mean, Cleveland, we got to remember, did get carved up by Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, good point.
Who's a seasoned veteran quarterback, though.
Yeah.
No, I know. It's still Ryan Fitzpatrick, though.
Got it. All right, man. All right, so moving on to the next game we have on the ticket, guys, is the St. Louis Rams coming into the Redskins. Washington Redskins. And St. Lucia is -3 with an under-over of 41.5. Mr. Feist, I believe, was on the Washington Redskins in this game, Dream.
Yeah, I know.
And looking at them at home, now you got the Dome team coming in to the Washington Redskins. I think the Washington Redskins got their backs against the wall, so it might be a pretty good spot. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to play it. I'm probably not. But, Dream, what's your thoughts on this one?
Oh, no, Mr. Feist. I'm going to leave him on the island by himself with this stinker. And we'll talk to him next time he's on the show. He'll either be dope or we'll just say maybe you made a mistake, Jim. But, no, I'm not getting involved in this game at all, as I don't like either one of these. I don't like either one of these teams. I don't believe that the Rams are that good as last week. I still say if the Seattle Seahawks had Cam Chancellor, they would have won last week's game in regulation and covered the spread. As the guy covering the guy that made the last catch for the Rams, which nobody talks about, it was a broken play. He caught the ball wide open in the end zone, and that's how the game even went to overtime in the first place. Nobody talks about that. They're just talking about, I had the Rams picked. The Rams are going to lose that game last week. But whatever. I do like the Rams. I give them this. Jeff Fisher gets them prepared. Jeff Fisher, makes them play hard. And the Rams do play hard. I can't take that away from them. Defensively, they play hard. Just offensively, man, Cunningham and Cook, they just don't dazzle you. I mean, Nick Foles, I know it was successful in Philly, but he just doesn't do it for me. And yeah, then on the flip side, the Redskins don't do it neither. So it's one of those games for me. It's two nasty teams. I still am not a big believer in the Rams. I definitely don't believe in Washington. Washington's a mess. I don't know how you go with Washington here, but he didn't. I'm not a handicapper, so hey, maybe he's seeing something in this guy. I mean, obviously, dude knows what he's doing. So been doing it for an awful long time. But I am going to have to watch him do it this week.
All right, sounds good. What's your thoughts, Dan?
I love the Rams.
You love the Rams on the road with Fishbone, huh?
Fishbone!
Yeah, look,
what's Jeff Fisher's record versus Kirk Cousins?
Actually, what I was looking up is how well Nick Foles has played at Washington, which is very, very well. So I like that, but this Rams defense is stout. And Kirk Cousins, man, I mean, he just is what he is. I think that they stop Alfred Morris today. They completely shut him down, and that leaves the Redskins with nothing. I expect the Rams to win this game pretty handily.
All right. Sounds good, Dan. Sounds good. I'm not messing with that game. I'm messing with the next one, though. got my Miami Dolphins going into the Jacksonville Jags. And Miami minus 5.5, under over of 41. So, taking a look at this particular game, I expect the Miami Dolphin defense to show up today, Dream. Kind of like what they did in the second half of the last game. Usually when they play in Jacksonville, they bring a lot of fans with them. I mean, you're going to definitely see, half and half, maybe even more Miami fans than Jacksonville fans based on the success of the franchises. But, when I look at this particular game, I think Tannehill will bounce back. I think he'll have a better game. I'm not a huge Tannehill fan. It was very disappointing to me when they signed him to that big contract because, being a Dolphins fan and all that. But they are 1-0. They did win a tough game in Washington last week. I think the Jacksonville Jags are an inferior opponent to the Washington Redskins, and I think they'll get the job done. I'm not giving the 5.5 points. I'm going to do a money line parlay with the Miami Dolphins and add them to other teams. Dan, what's your thoughts on the Dolphins today?
I like the Dolphins a lot today. Look, the Jaguars got rolled by the Panthers. I think Miami's offense is actually better than Carolina's right now, just due to injuries and things like that. But Jacksonville put up 9 points. 9 points on a good Panthers defense. I don't think it's great. And then I think Miami's defense, which is much improved, will find a way to do quite the same thing. I think they win by over a touchdown.
All right, sounds good. Dream, what's your thoughts on the Fish? Any interest?
Bortles last week, 22-40 with 183 yards and 1 touchdown. I mean, that says kind of volumes about what he's able to do.
It's also more about his receivers. Like, he doesn't have anybody.
No. Yeah, I agree with you there. Obviously, the Jacksonville Jaguars don't scare you. They're not scaring me. It's not, this is a garbage game. I don't play these kind of games. I'm not going to play this game. I lean with you on the Dolphins, but, I didn't like what I saw with the Dolphins last week against Washington. And the defense was not what it was supposed to be. So hopefully they come alive this week and they are what they're supposed to be. But I didn't like what I saw last week against the Redskins. But I do think that they will beat the Jaguars. The Jaguars are dusty, but I'm not betting on the game.
All right, guys. 2 more games on the ticket. We got the Baltimore Ravens coming into the Oakland Raiders. Baltimore minus 6. Under over a 42.5, and I think Suggs is out in this particular matchup. Dan, I'll start with you on this one. What do you think of the Ravens at the Raiders?
I think that the Ravens kill them.
Really, huh?
I really do. Look, Suggs, for any other team going up against any other team, you'd be worried about it. But, you saw what Oakland did last week.
Oh, brutal.
I mean, and, that was a home game for them, too. I think obviously the travel doesn't matter going east to west. It's just like playing a little later.
Yep.
So it doesn't make a difference in that regard. Look, Baltimore is kind of licking their wounds. But the Bengals went in there and beat the hell out of Oakland.
Yep.
So I think that Oakland wins this game by 2 Baltimore wins this game by 2 touchdowns.
I was just falling out my chair when you said Oakland wins this game by 2 touchdowns. I was like, what?
It is a tough place to play, though. It is a tough place to play.
Thank you for recovering on that, Dan, because you're playing. You talk about waking somebody up.
Yes.
Yeah, and I mean, look, I know Derek Carr is set to start today. I can't think he's even anywhere near 100%. Which just says how bad their backup quarterback is. Man, I love Baltimore here today to bounce back.
Got it.
Yeah, I don't love the Ravens because I just don't. The Ravens just never. They just don't blow you away. They never blow me away. Obviously, I think they're going to win the game. I think everybody does. You might like the under in this spot. Everybody knows the intangibles about this game. I'm not going to go even get into it. Suggs is missing, but that should be no big deal because the Raiders don't offer you no incredible offense. The Ravens defense should be able to put them down. The Ravens did lose last week a game. They need to come back. They need to get a win. When you're bad and you need to get a win, the doctor prescribes the Raiders, the Jaguars, and the Redskins to play. And
yes.
Usually it happens. So That being said, I think the Ravens will win. You might want to take a look at the under, as I don't think a lot of points will be scored in that game.
All right.
And if they are, it'll all be Raven points.
Yeah, I mean, you could even look at, if you want to, a Baltimore-Miami 2-team parlay.
I just don't know about Baltimore on the road. It scares me a little bit.
I guess
it scares me a little bit. I don't know. I know Oakland stinks, and it's probably going to win. But you know what? I just don't like it. I think there's another game on the board that's making me more excited than that game, and that is Sunday Night Football. We got the Seattle Seahawks coming into Green Bay. The Packers are given 3.5 with an under-over of 48.5 points. Now, even without Jordy Nelson here, I'm taking a look at this particular game. I said it earlier in the week, and I'm going to say it again. My personal opinion, I think the Green Bay Packers get the job done and win this game. The line's actually gone up. It's 3.5 now. Dream.
Yes, sir.
What do you think?
This is what I think, guys. I think that a lot of people are all over Green Bay. And I'm not one of them. I don't care about the public, so that's not one of my things. You know, I know it's somewhat relative, whatever. I don't want to argue with nobody about that, but it's just not. I am still about picking the better team. I'm sorry. It'll be very hard to get me out of that. But a lot of people are all over Green Bay, and for some reason, and I don't know why, I like Seattle. I think you got a situation where you got a team that just knows how to beat this other team. Seattle knows how to beat this Packer team, man. And mentally, I think Seattle has an edge there. Seattle lost last week to the Rams. I know that's got to be under their skin in a game that they should have won. Then you had Marshawn Lynch's mom in the press talking about, the play calling, which I've always had issues with the play calling. I think they probably open up the playbook this week and are going to go in all kinds of different directions to mix things up. And, Green Bay, Green Bay's dope. We know they're dope. We know Aaron Rodgers is dope. We know they get the ball around. They spread it around to everybody that they can. But you know what? I don't know if Green Bay will press that much harder for this. This game, to me, is a big game for Green Bay. Green Bay's going to really be focused on trying to beat Seattle. I don't know if that works against them, as opposed to working for them. And I don't know that if Seattle comes out and is able to diffuse some of the things that Green Bay wants to do, if Green Bay doesn't mentally get shook, with that. Yeah. So that being said, I think this is a rough game to bet. Obviously, a lot of loot is going to be on this game if you have a bad 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock. This is the bailout game. But unfortunately, this is a bad game to be bailing out on because it could go in a lot of directions. I happen to think that this game is another game, and I'm not picking these totals. You guys know that, but for some reason, I'm leaning the under in this game only because I think this game's going to be played kind of tight. I don't think Green Bay's going to quite move the ball on this Seattle defense like they want to. And obviously Seattle doesn't blow anybody out either. I think this game's going to be a very, very close game. I see something like 2017.
Really?
For some reason, I just see it like that. Because to me, there's a lot going on in this game, like behind the scenes emotionally, as far as what these teams got going on. So it's not going to be your regular go out there. And guys, what do I know? They can go out and blow the doors off. You know that. So I'm just telling you my thoughts on it and what I think. But I think this game's going to be a little bit closer and a tighter played game than most of us think.
All right, Dan, what's your thoughts on this game? Great game tonight.
Oh, it's a great game. I slightly lean Green Bay, but I don't think I'm going to play it. Look, if you feel forced enough.
Wait a minute.
Whoa, did I just hear that?
Even more shocking than the Raiders winning by 3 touchdowns. What did you just say, Dan?
First off, Baltimore's winning by 2 touchdowns. And, man, I like Green Bay here. I think you're right. I don't think it's going to be that low scoring, but I think it's going to be close. If I did end up playing it, what I'll probably do is throw 7 points on Green Bay and pair it with the Jets.
All right. Sounds good. And that's the Monday night game, which we will get into tomorrow. But you're feeling the Jets on Monday night, huh, Dan? Wow.
If I get 14.5 points.
Yeah, I got it. All right, guys. So that pretty much does it for the NFL stuff.
Way over today, gang.
Way over. But, hey, it was a great show.
Definitely.
I enjoyed it, and definitely feeling pretty good about my stuff today. So, Dan, real quick, let's just say we're not going to break any of the games down, but do you have any MLB plays to give out to anybody?
Yeah, I'm going to give you guys out all the plays that I'm playing today, and then I got to run because we are way over, but, I love you guys. The only things that I'm rolling today in MLB, I'm rolling again the Kansas City, Detroit over 8.5.
Yep.
Alfredo Simon on the mound there for Detroit, loves giving it up. And then I really actually like the Atlanta Braves with Tehran on the mound at home against the Phillies.
Wow, man.
That's actually it.
I got 93 losses with the Phillies, Dan.
I know. I think you're probably going to be 94 after today.
All right. And you're not taking Medlin for Kansas City, huh?
I got the over in that. Detroit loves to play Kansas City tough.
Yeah.
But I think, again, it's going to be a pretty high-scoring game. The bullpens have been terrible. The bullpens, yesterday for Kansas City, you had 4 guys that just weren't available at all, which is why you saw that, which is why I love the over. But Detroit's bullpen is terrible, and you pair that with a bad starter that might get knocked out in the 3rd inning. Kansas City might put up a 9 spot here.
All right, got it. So maybe get involved in the team total over with them instead.
You definitely could. You could. I think the over 8.5 is pretty safe, though.
All right, sounds good. Well, Dan, we'll let you go, man. Thanks very much for spending the time with the nation today.
No problem, guys. I love it. And
Dan, wait, I got to hold you up 1 minute. Harvey Sabathia tonight, dude. Come on.
Well, look, obviously I think that the Mets take care of business tonight. The problem is I'm not sure. I don't know how many innings Harvey's going to go. I don't know what his mindset is. I hope to see a good start out of him. Sabathia, obviously, is Sabathia. When he goes bad, he's bad. I think Cespedes will get off the schneid a little bit today. Hit Sabathia well. I think the Mets end up winning the series, but it should be a good one. The concern is you just don't know about Harvey.
Got it. Okay. Got it. All right, Dan. Thank you very much, man. We appreciate it.
No problem, guys. I'm going to go get that food so I can cook it up and get ready for these games. Enjoy yourself this weekend, Nation.
All right. Take care, man. So, all right, Dream, stellar show today, man.
Hey, no doubt. The other thing, guys, you got Mark Brealey on the mound. I know, nobody's interested. I'm not really interested, but I know that some of you guys are. So I try to keep a little bit of information out there. Brealey is on the mound going against the Red Sox, if you guys are interested in that at all for Toronto. And John Stanks is on the mound for the White Sox today against Tomlin. Some of you guys may opt for some baseball and mixing the two sports together. So just pointing those particular situations out. You also got King Felix and I believe Mr. Lester going on down as far as Mariners Rangers game too.
King Felix versus Derek Holland.
I'm sorry, Holland.
Wow, and it's even money all across the board. Wow.
Yeah. So just a couple of looks. Obviously, you're always interested in making money. For some of you baseball guys, I'm sure you're still vested in it and still going. So get yours as that's out there, guys. As far as I'm concerned today, I only have one really play that I really I like, and I don't love it. I'm not going crazy. Obviously, second week of the season. We did get a couple losses yesterday. We did lose last week, so I got to pull back a little bit, try to watch and refigure out what's going on. But I am leaning, as far as I'm concerned. I do like the Philadelphia Eagles today. There's some 1 o'clock stuff I'm looking at. I haven't really made up my mind yet which direction I'm going with that. But for today, I would have to say the play I would like the most would be the Philadelphia Eagles.
All right, sounds good, man. I'm looking at the Green Bay Packers. I am looking at the Miami Dolphins to win their respective games, and I think I'm going to stay away from that Cardinals-Bears game, Dream. I also like the Steelers, too.
Yeah, I would try to get you to stay off the Steelers game, too, bro, and just take a look at it, man. Maybe make an in-game wager for that. That's another thing, guys. Some of these games, if you're feeling froggy about it, but you like a side, wait. Get a look at the first two, the first 2 snaps, and then maybe get involved with some live stuff. I think that's the formula I'm going to start trying to implement for the college games, because you watch these teams from week to week and you get two different storylines out of them, it seems like. So that being said, I want to thank everybody that's retweeted the show. You guys have been great. Thank you so much for listening to us. West Coast Handicappers, JDH24 to pick. Jim Rome's a douche BT. CME picks. SJC's out there. Louis Salazar. Tommy King from TK Wins. Good morning to you, brother. Terrence Mack, Tip Talker. STD free since 93. Crazy. J-Cast is out there. Ciroc King J is out there as well. Thank you for retweeting our show, player. We appreciate that. We We also have Pick Six Investors, AZ Wildcat 83, C. Rodriguez Jr., footballblog.com, the NFL Hotline, NFL Fans 2 2015. My boy Irvin is out there, Jason Satterley, Vegas Girl 92661, Actu NFL, Jay Snyder, MG86, Marlon Surmata, G Rose, Justin Hernandez, Jordy Best, Chai Picks, Peeper Press, Spot Bet, Angelo Nunez, Woody 639, Miami Mainer, Postal P's out there, Sin City Mavericks, Stupid Bets, Direct Sports Solution, good morning to you as well. MC Money's out there, Cash Action Bets, Theory Pritchard 5-1. Guys, I am the dream. I do like the Philadelphia Eagles today. One of the plays I think I found a small mismatch in, but we'll see what happens. As always, best of luck to you in all your endeavors today and all your plays. Always remember who you're with and make the most of each and every day, as you cannot get this time back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Guys, we're the biggest show in the world. We're having an absolute blast 7 days a week. Very long show today. Very good information, man. I enjoyed it front to back, Dream. I got to be honest with you.
Whenever there's a guest on Sunday, guys, we're going to run over.
Yeah.
We run over regularly,
right.
But when there's a guest, we're definitely going to run over.
Oh, absolutely. So we love you to death. Go out there. Go easy, guys. If you lost yesterday, don't go nuts
Long season,
on football.
don't chase.
You know what I mean? You got plenty of games. You got hundreds of games, whether it's baseball, football, basketball coming up, the whole package.
Who? Can't wait for who?
Go out there, go easy, do your own homework, bet your own plays, make all your dreams a reality, and get that money. Let's go.